rock that beat.
So yesterday I didn't really get a chance to watch the My Hero Academia episode, and today I also have to watch the Boruto episode, so I'm probably going to try to get both videos out today as soon as possible. But I watched the My Hero Academia episode, and I had an idea of what was potentially going to happen because of the previews, and I was excited to see a couple of things just because they were just things that I was really interested in, mainly the class, the rest of the classmates, interacting with, Midoriya, Uraraka, Kirishima, and Asui, after the events that transpired in the previous arc. That was something I was very interested in seeing in because I just straight up wanted to see how they would react to everything that happened because it all had to be on the news eventually and they would have already had to know what was going on, right? So I was just straight up just very curious as to what was going to happen, how they were going to react to things. And yeah, they kind of reacted the same way that I thought they were going to react, with basically how they react to any other sort of situation. But I think overall, I think it serves really well with certain characters' character development because we'll get into that in a little bit, but I just kind of want to mention a couple of things before we get to that part in the review. And they got a new opening, and obviously that was what was going to happen because it's the start of a brand new arc, brand new thing that they're going to do. And I saw some people say they didn't really like this opening. I thought it was good. I thought it was very lively, and I think that's kind of what we needed after the depressing shit that we had to watch and go through with the previous arc. So I'm kind of happy with it, to be honest. And once after we go through that, we obviously, have, some people getting ready to go back to, the dorms in UA, right? The ones who are going through the internships. And some of them are getting ready to go. Some of them are having to file out paperwork. Some of them mentioned that within the episode. And obviously within the episode, Miro also wants to go talk to, Midoriya wants to go talk to Miro, I'm sorry. And I really admire Miro within this episode because obviously he has lost his quirk. He doesn't have his quirk anymore, and he's still just as motivated as he was before he had lost his quirk at all. And I find that very, motivating, and I found that very, amazing within his character that he's still the same old person that he was even after what had transpired throughout the previous arc. I had really admired that, and I really appreciate that they still show that he's still the same character, he's still the same person. It's just that now he doesn't have a quirk, but now seemingly he's way more motivated than he ever was before, and I really admire that, and I think a lot of people should admire that as well because people go through adversities through their lives. Some people go through terrible things throughout their lives, and they allow that to become what and who they are, and it just completely destroys them. But if you look at someone like Miro, who went through one of the worst things in his life by losing his mentor and losing his quirk, all for the sake of one person, he willingly did all that, even though there was a possibility that was all going to happen anyways. And even after he lost his quirk, he's still wanting to become one of the greatest heroes that the world has ever seen. And that's very admirable. That's just very good, growth for his character, that he's still pretty much the same person even after losing it. And I really liked that part in the episode. I thought that was a really good part of the episode. And just another thing they also did within that part of the episode is the Midoriya mentions the fact that would he accept Midoriya's quirk if he gave it to him, if that was possible, right? Like Midoriya mentions, let's say I can give you my quirk, would you take it? He pretty much says that verbatim, but not exactly, and Miro refuses. He doesn't believe that that's possible because obviously he doesn't know that one for all is a thing, but even if he acknowledged the fact that was a possibility, he, refused it. He refused to take one for all. One of the strongest quirks that had ever existed within the world of My Hero Academia. He completely refuses it. He wants to become a hero all on his own without needing anything else. And again, that's very admirable, and I very much admire the fact that he's still wanting to be a hero at the top of his game, even though he doesn't have a quirk currently. Uh, but even before all those events kind of transpired, the beginning of the episode actually begins with, well, I was able to hear my dog crying from the back of my house, so I completely have lost my train of thought of what I was talking about. The only thing I really remember was I was talking about the beginning of the episode, even though I was talking about something that happened after the fact, and basically Gran Torino and a couple of the other like police were chasing after Kurogiri. He was up in the mountains. He was trying to do something there. No one really knew what he was doing up there. There was just only sightings of him up there. So they go and they capture Kurogiri, and it turns out he was looking for some other guy that was also there. Some, he keeps referring to him to like that man. He keeps referring to him as that man, and apparently it's this other creation by All For One, obviously, and he's just this big, really big dude that was created by All For One, and I think he was created sort of the same way as, excuse me, I think he was also created by the same way as the Nomus were, but all I really know is that he's just another one of the faithful servants. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name or anything because it's really hard for me to say names in this fucking series anyways, but he's there, he exists, he's really fucking gigantic, and luckily Gran Torino was able to get Kurogiri and just dip the fuck out of there. But after that, the episode just continues on, like I had mentioned already before. The whole stuff with Midoriya and Miro and how they had their little conversation with each other, and I thought that was really good. And then afterwards, everyone gets back to the dorms, everyone talks to each other, they react like the way that they're supposed to because of the stuff that had happened and was reported on the news. And then one moment that Uraraka had just like on her own was that, and something that I thought was really good as well, was the fact that she feels like that she could have done more in the situation, because Night Eye was, dying, as the whole situation was going on in the first place. And she had his life in her hands, essentially, and she feels like that she could have done more. But the thing about it, though, is that Eraserhead, reassures her that she did everything that she could, and all that was really left to do was for it to be put in someone else's hands. And she did everything that she could in the situation, but just things happen, and you need to move on forward from it. Is it still sad? Yeah, of course, but you need to try to move on further ahead of it and become better. And she becomes more motivated to just become a better hero and save others. And I thought that was just really good character growth for her specifically. And I really liked it. And the rest of the episode is basically just then Todoroki and Bakugo getting ready to do their provisional license exams again. And that's kind of just it. And the next episode is going to be pretty much centered around that specifically. And judging from what's going to happen in the previews, it's going to be different than what we've seen before. But other than that, that's all the episode really does. I liked the episode. I thought it was still enjoyable, but ultimately just did a couple of things that I was hoping to see more of, but didn't get to see too much of, which kind of upset me, but it's whatever. And that's just pretty much the episode. I liked it. I liked what it was doing and what it did, but other than that, it just kind of did something else entirely, and I think that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So regardless, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. If you're unsubscribed for more videos like this, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm gonna try to get the other video out as well today as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.